Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of We Talk Talent Season 5, where we host renowned HR leaders from across industries and ask them to share with us their best practices and strategies that they have been implementing in their organization to cater to the ever evolving needs of the workforce, and workplace. Today, I am thrilled to have Anupma Ranjan, Vice President Talent Acquisition at FactSet Systems India Private Limited, on board with us for this episode. With over 13 years of experience in talent acquisition at FactSet, Anupama is responsible for hiring roadmap frameworks, social and new age digital hiring initiatives, employer branding, talent branding, recruitment marketing, outbound recruiting, and large team management for recruiting professionals across India and the Philippines. As a leader, she has an inherent aptitude to motivate teams towards tasks, especially in difficult work scenarios. Her goal is to continue to deliver exceptional talent solutions that support FactSet's growth and innovation. Welcome, Anupama. It's such a pleasure to host you today.
Thank you, Nilanjana, for a warm welcome. And it's being very, very honored to be here. And I'm thrilled to have a discussion with you.
Great. All right, then. Let's kickstart this episode with my very first question, Anupama. The world of work has been, talking about this war for talent, and it's an endless discussion and debate that everybody is going through, right? And wherein there is a very important aspect of skills shortage that we usually talk about, right? So, according to you and your industry demands, what type of skills shortage do you think is causing this talent war?
Yeah. So, there are different type of skill shortage that can affect the labor market. However, in my opinion, the most critical and persistent type of skill shortage is that causing the talent war is the mismatch between the skills that employers need and the skill that employees have or can be learned. So basically, we know that there is numbers of technology in the market, but the combination of the skills what we look for as an employee, that is a huge a gap. So there's no specific thing, but this is like what I'm looking for and what I'm getting from the candidate. That is a most thing like which I feel that skill shortage. And it could be because of the several factors like shift in technologies that, like, as we know, we are Gen AI, and we every day getting new skill set in the market and all. So maybe the shift in the technology that leads to the emergence of new professional, or transformation of the current ones, and it is forcing the acquisition of new or updated competencies. Like, we are being forced to learn the new technologies because otherwise we'll be stay behind. And also, it could be a kind of organizational reform, like we all know, due to COVID and all, we started working remote. So diversity and inclusion or innovation that impact on the work environment culture. For example, some of the department in any company, especially for the IT department, you will not find many female employees, and then they will have a force to balance their gender, and that is again kind of a one of the a mismatch there. And demographic shift, the aging, like in some team, like we have all veterans in staying longer to the company, and migration of the project, and sometimes like shift in the educational level that also impact the demand of employees. The shift, I'll give you another example. Like, I'm leading Philippines location as well. Like 2 or 3 years back, what they did for their MBA universities and all, they changed the examination dates, which is like 3 months, and there is a huge gap because next 3 months we are not going to have any fresh graduate pass out. So that could be another thing. And market shift, like, as we all know, the current scenario of the market, the effect of industry dynamics, competition, and preferences such as maybe the globalization or digitalization or sustainability. So these could be the mismatch and factor for the mismatch. And but it's not like that we cannot overcome with all of these. there are ways to definitely overcome of these kind of a skills gap. But as an employer, as in a company, we need to ensure how we are trying to balance all these. So maybe we should do the talent development investments, where giving our employees opportunity to learn and upgrade their knowledge, their skill set. And rather than going and hiring a new talent from the market, you have already invested in your current people. Maybe you can help them to upgrade and pick up the new skills, and let them do some kind of certification, informal or formal, and pay them for the certification invoices. And maybe you have the learning and development team internally. Most of the companies, every company do have their L&D team, so they can conduct them some kind of a training, educate them, coach them. Maybe we can have some mentoring or training sessions. So employers currently working in the organization, they should not feel back. They should be pushed forward to upgrade themselves, and this can improve definitely employees morale, and they can feel empowered, and at the same time they can learn the new skill set. And with that also, like I talked about the diversity, because if sometimes you have to have the proper
Yes.
balance of diversity, that could be a skill gap. So I think as an organization, we should also, or attract and retain the employees from different backgrounds, experiences, perspectives, and who can basically look for those who can bring values and innovation for the organization. And this can be extend the pool of potential candidates, and also promote inclusive and welcoming culture, that which will improve to have a diverse team in your organization. And also not forgetting to retaining all your top talent. That is very, very
Absolutely.
important, because our top talent should feel valued, respected, motivated, and rewarded. So these can improve their performance, and if their performance is improved, they are happy and they'll stay back with you. So I think these are the basic skill gaps, and kind of a strategy we can build up to improve these kind of skill gaps in our companies and organizations.
Great. Thanks, Anupama, for sharing these very important pointers. I think, firstly, when you mention about the mismatch, I think that's wherein the entire game is, decided whether there would be a success or whether there would be a failure, right? And then moving towards the aspect of technology, since now everything is AI, and technologically advanced skill sets is something that the employers are also looking at. And then the aspect wherein you mentioned about the diversity and inclusion, I'll get back to you on the DE&I agenda that you are following in your organization later in our conversation. Since we mentioned a lot of quoting the point wherein you said that mismatch of skill sets and then technological advancements are happening. So these are core skills that you actually look at while hiring a potential candidate for your organization, or maybe in the industry as a whole. And in all this advanced years, probably when we say the importance of soft skills has also evolved drastically, if we have to look into it. And data also suggests that as well, that there are organizations who are now focusing on the soft skills aspect more than earlier. So how do you see this importance of soft skills evolving in this current scenario that we are into, and going forward as well?
Yeah, that's another very good question. Soft skills are basically, it's something interpersonal and communication and emotional intelligence skills that basically enables a candidate to work effectively, and also to work effectively with other team members. Because if they'll not have those kind of a communication and interpersonal skills, they will not able to fit in the team. So that is very, very essential for any company, and which wants to foster a culture of collaboration, innovation, and customer satisfaction. Because collaboration is very, very important, because we never know what idea comes from anybody. So if we have a 10 people working together, we may get some idea from each of them. So that is very important. However, soft skills are often overlooked sometimes, like when we look for a very, very specific skill set in terms of technologies. So we sometimes overlook, but somehow I feel soft skills are also very, very important in our hiring process, because they are harder to, measure and quantify in terms of hard skills. Like I know C++, so I know C++. But if somebody is talking about the soft skills, it's very difficult to how to identify compared to technical thing. But soft skills are becoming more important than ever for talent acquisition, especially in the context of changing the nature of work and increasing diversity of the workforce, and growing demand of the social and environmental responsibility. And like somebody like someone wants to change, somebody's in technical aspect and wanted to grow in the managerial role or something. In that way, there you need that soft skill, because that will definitely help you nurture yourself as in a managerial position. And so the rise of automation and artificial intelligence, which is basically replacing many routine and repetitive tasks, like like problem solving, human creativity, problem solving, adaptability, and all. And also the shift to remote and hybrid work model, which are increasingly the need of effective communication, which we talk about, like when with the pandemic, we were not in office, we're not talking each other, we don't know what's going in your mind, what's going in my mind. So that's time that the communication, the collaboration, the self-management skills are very, very important. And that's the time we would know, because we don't see each other. We are working together, but we are not happen to see each other, and we don't know what's going on. If I am feeling loneliness, or if I'm very, very demotivated. So certain times that soft skills may, help you,
Yeah.
overcome with that. And as I said, like a new form of work organization, like we talk about the agile methodology and project based and gig work, which are demanding more flexibility and initiative from workers. So as they the ability to learn new skills and switch roles quickly. In that way, you need to have those kind of a soft skill, very, very important. Otherwise, you'll not cope up and switch from one place to other place. So that's, I feel the soft skill is very, very important. Even you're ignoring, but somehow you are able to. You need to have those things, like in terms of person have to grow in their career, or in terms of person has to switch the career, or in terms of you need to be retained and collaborative in the team. That soft skill is very, very important. And I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's right. No, Anupama, we can totally resonate with the aspect wherein you said that, okay, there's hard skills that, you and I can probably develop doing certain certification, picking up certain courses. But the soft skill is something that need take a little while to probably for somebody to who has not really opened up, might take some time to probably get open up, and this can only happen when that particular person is surrounded with those kind of people. So that kind of culture needs to be built, and a very important role that an employer has to also play in building that kind of culture. And since technology is also coming in, you talked about humanness. So this humanness is something that we need to keep that touch going, and like you said, that to move forward in the career ladder, this towards success, soft skills will absolutely play a very important role. They can probably cater to their needs, or maybe um, being heard, being seen. So how do we look at it from an employer branding strategy viewpoint? So how can you shed us some light on the employer branding strategy that you have been have you introduced in your organization, and how it has evolved from the past few years?
Yeah. So honestly speaking, this topic is one of my favorite. And I strongly believe that for any company or any organization, employer branding is very, very important. And because I feel the employer branding is process of developing and publishing a positive and unique perception of a company. as an employer of choice.
Yeah.
If you have not been promoted well, your company has not been promoted well, maybe your goal will not be achieved. That's my perception. And the goal of the employer branding is basically to attract, engage, and retain the best talent, which aligned with the company's vision, mission, and the core values. And employer branding is not only about promoting the benefits of company or perks of working in an organization, but it also showcasing about our culture, company's culture, values, purpose, impact, and candidate experience, which is very, very important. Nowadays, the candidates are very smart. You talk about the benefits, you talk about other things, but they also do little research about your culture, your vision, your mission, how you work and all. So they are not like 10 years back, because I'm in this field for 16 years now, and I see when I started my career in the recruitment field, and now I see a huge gap. I see now the market is like candidate driven, not a company driven, honestly speaking. And for employer branding, I would say like every company have their own tactics. I would not say like FactSet is doing this, so other companies also doing the same or following the same. But I strongly believe every company have their own tactics and own way of style to do the promotion or the branding. But there is certain things I believe that every company keep in mind in other ways. Maybe like two or three topics which I feel. One is like authenticity. Whenever we do branding or any organization is doing employer branding, especially on the LinkedIn or social media platform and all, so a company should be very, very transparent and honest about who they are, what they do, and how they do. And we should not overstate our employee values proposition, but rather showcase our potential, problems, even accomplishment and the shortcomings. It's okay. Every company do have that. Just nothing to hide, and opportunities and challenges. We should share the real stories of the testimonial from our employees, like the person who is working with our company for a longer period of time. Maybe the testimonial of that employees, which showcase like why he or she is staying longer with that firm. Customers and partners, their testimonial or their feedback. And we also invite candidates to experience our culture and work environment. So that is there. The second thing I would see, differentiation. That is like as an employer, a company should draw attention to aspect that set us apart from other employers in the market and the industry. We should not do the same thing what the other people are doing. We should always look and emphasize our competitive advantage, like such as like our innovative product, what we have done in terms of Gen AI, what is we are doing in terms of promoting Gen AI, our services, our social and environmental impact, what we are doing with our clients. Is there a new merger happen? So our diverse and inclusive workforce, our learning and development, what we are doing and what we are giving to our employees in terms of groom them, and especially the recognition and award programs which we do internally, which people do not know about outside, right? So along with showcasing our employer branded personality, tone, and voice, we should communicate our brand with identifying through eye-catching, graphic and messaging, so that we could get more traffic on social media platform where people come and look forward again and again what FactSet has, publishing, and what FactSet has a new post and all. And another thing I feel that engagement, because engagement is also very important. We should interact, communicate our targeted talent segment. Like I am on LinkedIn and I get a lot of ping from many students, placement officers, many working professionals, and all. They send me separate message, but I ensure to respond everyone. May not be in the same 24 hours, but within a week, I try and I give myself a time for 2 hours every day for LinkedIn, because those are the people who trying to approach us, and we have to engage. If we're not able to engage with them, they will they will not have a very, very positive or candid experience. So I strongly feel the engagement is very important. And engagement, you can do multiple channels, like, you have LinkedIn, we also do on Facebook, we also do on Insta, but LinkedIn is one of the very prominent. And we use a mix of offline, online method, like social media, as I said, FactSet website, where we get a lot of profiles, job boards, like we conduct events, we conduct webinars. Like I know every company do, conduct those podcasts and all. So try to engage, because if you reach out to them, and if you reach out to them or response on, in time, you may have the potential candidate talent build. You don't know that you are building a pipeline, but you are building a potential candidate a pipeline. So that has been, I think, how any company's employer branding strategy has evolved so far. And and how I think most of the company do regular research about analytics about their market, like how the LinkedIn is approaching FactSet or so and so company, what is the traffic they are getting, how the competitors and other industry is trending in the market. So we need to learn also, and we need to see the market behavior. We need to see the market trend. So definitely, having a regular market research analytics will help you.
Yes.
And we also refined and update our employer value proposition to reflect our current and future organization goals. And we are very open to have our what is the FactSet goals and values in all the websites and all, and which will help candidate to understand, okay, these are the FactSet values and goals which I have to stand by. So these are the things I feel. And that is very important in terms of branding yourself. So as I said, like employer branding strategy is a dynamic and ongoing process that requires constant attention, adaptation, change. And as an employer, as in a company, as in a manager, we should be committed to maintain, always enhancing our company's brand image.
No, I think I totally agree, Anupama, when you mentioned that the market is now the candidate's market. It's all about the candidate right now. The current candidate will not just look at the pay package and the designation that he or she has been given. He or she will also go beyond
Yes.
these things and understand what is the culture, how are they looking at upskilling their employees, and what kind of experience that they are wanting to give to their new employees, or maybe what is the onboarding experience all about. And I think another aspect of wherein you mentioned that I mean the organization's employees who can be the best brand advocates out there in the market, who can probably talk more about, because it cannot be like just the employer talking about, okay, this is who we are, this is what we have done, and this is what we would want to do for our employees, but rather than the employee side also showcasing it on social media, because that's the powerful platform wherein everybody goes and wants to know more about the employer as a whole. So I think very, very important points that you actually highlighted. And Baba, thank you so much for sharing that. Now, coming back to the DE&I agenda that you were earlier, talking about, and that's a very, very important topic now that every employer is now focusing on. So, if you had to talk about the DE&I, the diversity, equity, and inclusion agenda at FactSet, what does it look like for us?
So as you said already, D&I is one of the very important piece, and every company and every business has their own target. As in a TA, I also have my own target. Like this is the number I have to meet. So as in a head of talent acquisition, I am also committed to ensuring that we attract, hire, and retain a diverse and talent workforce that reflects the communities we serve and as values uphold. So D&I is not only a moral imperative, but is also a strategic advantage of business. Most of the time, I'm reading some research. It shows the diverse team are more innovative, and that's true. That's fact. Innovative, productive, and they brings very new and fresh ideas. So moreover, like fostering a culture of inclusion and belongingness is like enhancing our employee engagement, retention, and ultimately employee satisfaction. So there are many ways where we have to work on D&I agenda, how to fulfill and all. So, what do we do? Like, not as in just a fact set, but I feel most of the company and every company has these kind of a thing working already there. And we are, conducting, we normally do conduct a comprehensive audit of our current hiring practices and see where we are lacking and see what we can do. If there is a policy or procedure which we need to introduce, and there is something which we need to eliminate, and some kind of a potential biasness, like and any kind of a gaps which we also always try to audit and remove from our recruitment process. And also we are like developing a D&I dashboard where that we track and measure all progress on key indicators such as representation, retention, promotion, and the pay equity across different dimension of diversity. Like it could be gender, race, ethnicity, and all. And we also look for PWD candidates, like where we can have all those given an opportunity to work on that. And we also try to provide train and coach and mentoring programs for our employees and managers, because D&I is something like everyone may not be open to have it, like so how to promote and how to have a wider audience accepting that in your hiring process. So we also have some training module created specifically for the senior leaders or hiring managers, like in terms of topic to cover unconscious biasness or cultural competence or allyship, or hiring from different kind of geographical as well. And we're also creating different kind of we look for, like when we go to the campuses college, we also ensure to go a college which is promoting all the female students, like women's college and all. So there are many ways. And we also have our business resources group created inside. I know every company do have there, and that offer networking, learning, development opportunities for employees who have shared common identities, interests, and experiences. And we expand our outreach and engagement with diverse communities, agencies, organizations, which from where we can build a strong and diverse talent pool, because that is very important. I know, like if you talk about D&I, the main important factor is how to create the diverse talent pool. So for that, we engage with other third party agencies, also communities and organizations, which help us, to create a wider talent pool, diverse talent pool. So these are the some steps where we are, as a TA head and company, with support of my company, we do in terms of promote D&I and have a proper balance of that.
Yes, absolutely. I think, Anupama, you rightly talked about the biasness aspect, because nobody would want to feel that, oh, okay, hey, I also work hard as, as compared to my team member, but that person is getting promoted. I mean, what is that something that I am doing wrong? Is there a biasness aspect included in this kind of a promotion, that maybe somebody has got a pay rise or somebody that has got? So all of that is required by the employer to, probably just wipe off that kind of doubts, whatever the employee might have. And the other aspect, that every other individual will have a different kind of need to be catered to as well. So how is the employer, how are the leaders, how is the talent acquisition team as a whole looking at those kind of experiences that they actually get? Very beautifully mentioned by you, Anupama. That takes me to the last question of our episode, and you have talked about this particular challenge already while hiring, right? The diversity, so ensuring that you have the set number of people that maintains your diversity quotient as a whole. Uh, could we talk about some other challenges, some prominent challenges that you face in this talent acquisition space and your strategies to overcome that.
Yeah. So, like in the talent acquisition space, as you know, like we do hiring, retaining qualified candidates and all. Though we are India is one of the biggest in terms of population, we still face challenge. And the challenge is like there are certain type of challenge which is like it's not like we cannot overcome with that challenge, but definitely we can overcome. But there are some challenge, and those challenges are like finding the first word I would say like finding and attracting the right talent. So basically we can talk about the skill gap which we already discussed, the mismatch between the skill that company is looking and what as an employee they have. And that is specifically true for the roles which is required specialized or emerging skills, like not for the regular C++ or Python or such kind of a skill set, but those are the skills where we are looking for specialized roles, such as I can talk about data science or artificial intelligence or cybersecurity. So, but yeah, after a time being given a training and all, that gap can be filled, but that is a gap. And the second one is the competition. The competition is like TA space is highly competitive as many organizations are vying for the same pool of talent. Like I'm chasing you, and maybe the other two companies also chasing you because you are the top talent. So that is always there, and that means that TA professional have differentiate their employer brand. So that's come your employer brand. Like then as an employee, as in a candidate, you will pick the company which is paying, just not paying higher, but also what is the employer brand and value proposition of the company, and what is the candidate experience you have given them that comes into the picture. So the competition is very high. One top talent candidate will be reaching and approached by many companies, which is like again more competition. And the another one is like expectations. So definitely all the top talent knows that he or she has the skill set, and then they have the higher expectation from the employers than ever before. And that is there. If you remember the term, um, uh, 4 years back, a higher resignation, like we were having so many great resignations,
Great
the
resignation.
terminology was there, and we also impacted, like my team also impacted. And that was the reason, the expectations, because the candidates know their value and that expectations are very very high. So they are looking for more than just a salary and a job description. They want to know the organization mission, vision, the culture, the values, social impact, and the company growth, how the company is doing in last 5 years, if the company is growing or not, what are the opportunities he or she will get. And they also want to personalized, engaging, and transparent recruitment process and respect their time and their feedback. If they are rejected, they would like to know why they have been rejected. So that is a one thing. And like how we can help, definitely there are many ways to come and improve on these using data analytics. Look for the data, leverage your old data analytics and identify the skill and competencies that are in demand, and then you can work accordingly and you can have your recruitment plan based on that. Improve your employer brand, which I already spoke about, that because that is one of the very important thing, as in this time of market, candidates do look for employer brand. They go on LinkedIn. Whenever I talk to a candidate, I see the very next day my profile has been
Viewed.
clicked by that candidate and all. So that is very important. And creating a positive candidate experience, even you're not going to hire that person, the person
Yes.
is rejected in an interview, a positive candidate experience can help increase candidate satisfaction. He or she may not be selected, may not be joining your company, but he or she may go and talk other company, hey, I could not clear the interview, but that company is amazing. They take care of my profile very well. Their interview process were very good and very quick, and he or she may come and share some kind of a referral in terms of improving your talent pool. So I think that is very very these kind of this challenges what we can see in future. But as I said, like these challenges are like not like that you cannot overcome. We just need to take a smart steps and baby steps to understand the challenge and then plan accordingly to overcome all those challenges.
Yes, thanks so much, Anupama, for sharing that, because I totally agree to the points that you mentioned when we say that we are trying to maybe hire somebody, and it's the day zero of hiring process that starts for that particular candidate till whether or
Exactly.
not that particular candidate was able to make it or not make it. That matters the most, irrespective, because there might be challenges in terms of skill sets that it's not the right kind of fitment. Again, that mismatch is something that the TA head has to ensure that, okay, this is something that's not happening for my organization, but give that kind of right feedback to the candidate as well, so that they can indirectly become the brand advocates for your organization and talk positive about you in the community altogether. I think we are good, and these were all the major important points that I'm sure people who would be watching our who are watching our episode will totally resonate with that. And I think it's just one bonus aspect that just struck my mind, is about when a candidate gets rejected. I'm sure there are a lot of frustration that a candidate will obviously go through the rejection email. And then when you ask that what is the reason that I was rejected, and you do not get to, hear back from the hiring manager, anything that you would want to just, put it forward to the community as a TA, leader out there, because I'm sure people will talk about it. People do talk about it, and say that, okay, I did not get a relevant response. Why was I not hired? Where did I not work out for you?
Yeah. So basically, like we have a very robust tool internally where whenever somebody is rejecting someone, the hiring manager has to put the comment on the
Yeah.
workday. And if somebody is not putting the comment the workday, we cannot go ahead the next step. So that is the internal thing. And but we ensure whatever the comment, whatever the feedback we have received from the hiring manager is given to the candidate. Maybe in the email, we just have a regular system generated rejection email. But somebody is coming and asking detailed feedback. I really feel very good about those people because I feel they wanted to learn, they wanted to learn from their mistakes and improve. So I personally have my team talk to the person, get the feedback from the hiring manager, and have that person know what he or she needs to improve on, and what is the skills gap, what during the interview what the hiring manager could have identify for that person will be given as a feedback to that person. And we ensure that person will apply again after in some time after having a learning curve and come back and reapply FactSet. So we will definitely encourage we should encourage such people who is coming back asking feedback. We should not be feeling bad about it, like they're not questioning, they are questioning themselves, that they wanted to understand where they were wrong and they wanted to improve themselves. So that's why they're coming back and asking you, like, hey, can you get me the feedback so I can improve myself? So I really appreciate such people, such candidate, and ensure to have a proper feedback given to them so that they can improve their skill set and come and again, reapply FactSet.
Great. Yes. Thank you so much, Anupama. I think it was a great conversation that I would, say, and there were a lot of important factors that we really talked about, deep dived about, rather. And my heart also goes towards employer branding, and it's somewhat I also resonate with a lot of aspects which you actually share. So thank you once again, Anupama, taking out time for us today, and talking and discussing such important aspects of work, workforce, and workplace today with us.
Thank you, Nilanjana. It's been really great talking to you. Thank you so much.
All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the episode. And please stay tuned, because we have another episode coming in where we will have another HR leader from a different industry joining us, sharing their best practices, strategies, and more. So stay tuned. And until then, take care and bye bye.